Was good. He was cracking, my people. Major Keep Monday in the building again. You know what I'm saying? Got a little special guest tonight. We always trying to bring y'all the best, trying to educate the casuals, bringing people to kind of educate you guys on the history of boxing. A lot of things that, times have changed. We have a different climate right now. So it's always refreshing to get somebody in the building that can educate us on the way things were versus the way things are. Kind of give us a little insight as to how the boxing game was back in the day. I know there's a couple of channels live right now, so I'll see people flowing in just a minute. But nevertheless, let me introduce my guest. We have Mr. Simon Brown in the building. What's going on, brother Wagwan?
How you doing? Everything is
right,
good?
Man. Yeah, man, I'm chilling, brother. Thank you so much for joining the platform. You know what I'm saying? We're looking forward to hearing your stories, hearing about your history and all of that.
Man, I got a good one too.
You got a good one for me? All right, no doubt, man. And thank you for Troy Graham in the building as well for connecting us as well. I know you guys got more of a little history, so I'll let him kind of take the lead on this one. But what's the story? Let me hear the story first. You got a random story, or you want to lead into that one?
Oh, you want me to talk?
Yeah.
You got
a story, yeah.
Okay, well, my story is about, it's about coming from Jamaica. I was 12 years old when I came from Jamaica. Came here in America, and basically, I didn't have TV or anything like that, or even radio to know of boxing or to see boxing. So in 1976, when I came over here, I got involved into watching the 1976 Olympic with Sugar Ray Leonard, Michael Spinks, all them guys, Leon Spinks, and I just fell in love with boxing. And then in the middle part of 1979, I decided to go to a gym, and that's where it began.
You on mute, brother. You on mute.
Yeah. So it's basically what you saw on TV that kind of inspired you to move forward and start in boxing.
Right, and when I went to the gym, my trainer told me to basically to bring a tennis shoes and a pair of shorts to start working out, and that's what I did. And
Okay.
from there on, my trainer, I remember Pepe Korea, he trained me for like 6 weeks, and he decided to put me in the ring and try it, and that's what I did. And I went in there and tried against a guy by the name of Ricky, and this guy beat the mess out of me. After I finished, I had changed up and went home, and I went back for 3 months. I said, forget it, this is not for me. Then I decided I keep watching TV and watching boxing, and fell in love still with watching Sugar Ray Leonard fighting. And basically, I went back into the gym and knock at the door. No one answered. I went around the window and knock at the window. No one answered. I went back to the door and knock. My trainer answered the door, Pepe, and he said, "What do I want?" I said, "Pepe, I want to continue to box." He said, "No, you don't." I said, "Yes." He said, "After that butt whooping that you take and you came back, you're gonna be a champ one day," and that's exactly what happened.
All right. You ended up you ended up fighting from 1982 to 2000, right?
Right.
And there were a lot of people in your weight class. Tell us about some of the people that you crossed paths with in the weight class.
Well, I went past Maurice Blacker, um, Terry North, Howard Davis. It was so much guys that I went through. It was quite a bit, and all these guys, was a hell of a fighter. They was very good fighter, and I went through them, and I was really surprised that I did it. But by the grace of God, I kept on working and beating these guys.
Okay, and you fought Buddy McGirt as well, right?
Right, I fought Buddy McGirt. I had my titles for 3 years, and Buddy McGirt take it away from me.
But yeah, man, you fought a lot of tough competition. Go ahead, man. Troy, follow up.
Yes, yes. I was gonna say that Simon is a basically he is a former unified welterweight champion, and in his prime on the pound for pound list, he was second only to Chavez. Everything I ever read, everything I ever heard about him, they had him only second to Julio Cesar Chavez at the time. He was also a 154-pound champion,
Yeah.
and basically Simon beat Simon beat a lot of good people. I believe he beat a few that won, or one or two that went to the Hall of Fame, and he beat a guy that actually beat a legend that was his mentor. Because if I'm correct, Simon, you used to work with Sugar Ray Leonard as well too,
Right.
right?
I went to two of his camp. Went in his camp and was sparring with him. And that's where I have also learned a lot of and got a lot of experience from was Ray Leonard.
Right, right. And you learned, and you would, and what did they call you back in the day? What was your nickname as a boxer?
Simon Mantequilla Brown means smooth as butter in Spanish.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah.
That's that's right. And he definitely was. The matter. Why don't you break down how you actually, got your first title shot, but it was a struggle to get there at first? Because I know there was some time you had to take off, and then you had to get the title shot, right?
Right, exactly. It wasn't easy. It was a tough battle, you know, lead up to that point. Because at the time, it was still 15 round fights. And when I fought for the title the first time, it was 15 rounds. I fought a guy
Hmm.
by the name of Tyrone Trice from out of Detroit, and this guy, could fight. He was tall, he was rangy, and it was hard for me to get to him. But as the fight goes on, I beat him down and got to him.
Yeah, and I believe that's still considered one of the greatest fights in boxing. And if I remember correctly, that's actually one of the last times that fighters fought 15 rounds, right, Simon?
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah, because you
Yeah.
could tell them about that, because I don't want to tell that story, but tell them how it started, and then just walk us through how that fight finished. 'Cause that was one hell of a fight.
Well, he started this way, and Tyron Trice had told me in a press conference that he was going to knock me out in the second round. And from the first round on, lead up to the second round, he was beaten and he did knock me down. But my willpower and my determination didn't let me quit. So I had to keep battling all the way until around the fifth or the sixth round. That's when I take over and start doing my thing. And the 14th round, I put him to sleep.
You did more than that. Basically, basically, both of them were exhausted, because
Yeah,
I don't, it was one hell of a battle. I don't even remember the temperature they said was in the ring, but it was very hot, right?
right,
So
exactly.
yeah, so Simon would tell you that his trainer Pepe Carrera said, "Look, all you need to do is catch him with one good hook, Simon, one good hook, right?"
Because
So,
that was my favorite punches, the hook to the
yeah,
head and hook to the body, and I keep landing it, and I keep landing, and sooner or later, that's what put him down.
And
yeah, and
talking,
mhm.
I'm not bad, Troy. Talking about heat. You fought in Puerto Rico one time, right? How was that?
That was a heck of a fight too. I fought in Puerto Rico, and it was a heck of a fight too. I went many places. I went to Ecuador. You know, I
Mm,
went to Budapest. I went all over. I was my promoter at the time, Don Hellbaum, had me all over fighting.
that's what's up. You know what I mean? Any place that really called you back, like somewhere that you visited afterwards and said, man, I was here on business. I got to go visit that place again.
Well, yes, I went back to Canada. I had fought Sean O'Sullivan in Canada.
Mm,
Um, I went back to Ecuador, to visit it. I went back to France to visit it, just to spend a week or so there, and I enjoyed it. Them some beautiful country.
That's what's up. That's what's up. My bad for cutting you off, Troy. I just noticed that he had fought in Puerto Rico. I wanted to ask him about that.
Oh yeah,
Well,
yeah, he's definitely. Mhm.
yeah, Puerto Rico was a very wonderful place at the time when I went there. back in, I think was 89, and I had a wonderful time. That's at the time when I met Trinidad. Because
Okay.
Trinidad had fought up there, and it's the first time that I met him. And he didn't even win the titles yet. He was just on the uprising coming.
That's what's
Yeah,
up.
yeah. He was a young and up and coming. Now, I want you to share the story, man, of your first loss against a guy named Marlon Starling, and how you overcame that because you were young when you lost to him, right?
Right, that was my
Mhm.
first loss. I was 21-0 at the time, and I fight Marlon Starling, heck of a fighter, very good defense. But I know he have that experience, and I went into the fight and go to win because everybody I step in the ring with, I believe I could beat him. Said, I don't think no other way until the result is finished. And me and him battled it out and went 12 rounds. And that was my first title fight for the USBA title. And I lost a split decision. Right after that, I came back and went, 4 or 5 more years straight, and I didn't lose anything. Yeah. Because
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
cause that was a big, experience for me by fighting a guy, because Marlon Starling had 4-4 world title before he had fought Donald Curry. And
Hmm.
so he had a lot of experience, and you know by fighting him, he helps me a lot when I go into other fights. I don't have to worry about anything. I just go and do my thing.
Okay, okay, and you know what and you know what else I'm gonna ask you? Okay,
Right.
there's there's fighters nowadays that won't fight because they're friends and all that. That's the excuse they use. I can't fight this fighter because he's my friend and all that.
Right.
I know you have a story about a friend that you fought, and you want to share that one. And you and him were champions at the time when you fought each other, right?
Exactly. I was the IBF
Hmm.
champion, and he was the WBC champion. And basically,
Right.
um, he beat the guy for the WBC title that beat me, Marlon Starling. And he ended up then they said, let's
You still there, Simon? Simon.
basically, yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, go ahead and tell the story, but you're not.
Okay,
Yeah, you
and
got to share the fighter's name though. Yeah, you got to share his
right,
name if you want to. Yeah.
said it again.
No, no. I was saying, share his name, man.
Okay,
Who's the?
um,
Yeah.
who you said who was the fighter that I fought?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right after that, after that fight, Marlon Starling's name was Maurice Blocker.
Very good fighter. Very slick
Very good
and
fighter, man. Tall,
yeah.
rangy, and it's hard to get to him, man. But me and him went to war, and in the
Mm.
10th round, I knocked him out. And he was my best friend. He even until today, he's still my best friend. He's a man that me and him grew up together. We traveled together, we sparred together, fight together. But Bush Lewis at the time on Don King said, let's put Simon and him together because he had the WBC. He beat the only guy that ever beat me. So they
Mhm.
said, let's put them together, and that's what happened. And I stopped him in the 10th round.
Right.
I feel
And
bad
also,
afterward. I feel bad afterward because he was my best friend, but I had to knock him out.
that was my next question, man. I was going to ask you, how did you get prepared for that? I mean, I understand like the physical part of training for, but I know I know you as a compassionate person. So, how did you deal with your feelings, all the way up to the fight? What did you have to do to get ready for that fight?
Well, basically, I take it, that I want to hold him and keep my title, and either I'm gonna fight him hard to keep my title, or either I'm gonna give it to him. And I
Yeah.
didn't want to give it to him, so I have to go to work and take care of business.
And you definitely went to work because I remember your trainer at the time was Emil Griffin, right?
Right.
And he kept telling you, Simon, he's like, Simon, oh, you get close, Simon, you get close, right?
That's it. I got to get. He told me, say, Amir Griffin. He was telling me, say, I got to get closer. I can't fight him from the outside. I got to go on the inside and rough him up and throw a lot of body shot. 'Cause as you know, I'm a fighter that throw a lot of body shot. I love the body. That's where you live
Yes,
at.
you
That's
do.
where you sleep at. That's where you eat at. So I had to beat that down.
Well,
Yeah.
we got a couple of comments in the chat for you. Vaughn Bennett says one of the greatest ever from DC. Sherman Ave Latin Connection. He says, right?
Said it
Uh,
again.
he says Sherman Ave Latin Connection, right?
Right.
Uh,
It's like, yeah, line connection.
yeah, and then we got another one. Jet Kyle says, Simon, your fight with Tyrone Trice, the first fight, is underrated classic, a fantastic war.
Right. Oh man, that it was. It was a
Yeah,
war, man. You know, when
yeah.
every time I look at that fight, I said, man, by the grace of God, God pulled me through that one.
Guido's asking me, are you keeping up with like the current champions? And if so, what do you think about Canelo Alvarez?
Oh man, great fighter, man. He's a wonderful fighter, man. You know, and I like the way he fight because he come in there and take care of business. He take it to you like he should do, not running around like a chicken. He come and
Right.
go to war, and that's a good thing about it.
Yeah, man. So, what would you say is the biggest difference between the state of boxing right now versus the state of boxing when you were coming up?
Oh man, the state of boxing right now, you know, when I was coming up, because it was 15 rounder. So
Right.
back at that time, we didn't basically, whether they give you the fight, you got to fight. You know,
Mhm.
nowadays they pick and choose who you gonna fight. You know, and trying to give each got fighter the edge when they get ready to fight. But back then, ain't nobody got no edge. You got to go in there battle, man.
Yeah, because some people get it confused. They say, "Oh, this A side stuff started from way back then," and that's not what I recall. What I recall is everybody got in the ring to fight.
Exactly. That's what it was back then. We all when you get up on the fight, you couldn't say, no, I'm not fighting him or I don't no, we got to fight. But nowadays that's what they do.
Yeah, man,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Go
It
ahead.
seems like there's always a reason to not fight. Whereas, I remember you telling me one thing when I was coming up, right? And you put that IBF belt on my waist when I was 17, right?
Right.
And you asked me, why I want to get into boxing, and I said, well, I just love it and I want to make some money. And you said, okay, well, you ain't never gonna be nothing in boxing if that's all you want,
Now
because there's a whole lot.
you
Yeah,
gotta love this sports, man, and just want to do it. And because if you don't and just fight for the money, man, it's not good.
nah, it's not. Now tell us this, right?
Uh-huh.
You fought a guy by the name of Terry Norris, right?
Right.
And at the time when you fought him, right, you were supposed to fight him before, but you had some health issues and you had to back out of that fight, and then you had to
Right.
start all
And
over. Everybody was writing you off, like the sports writers are writing you off and all that. Go ahead and tell that story.
right. Well, at the times, because I was born with a heart murmur, and
Mm-hmm.
my chest was bothering me a little bit, and you know, I was worrying about that, and I went to the doctor to check to make sure everything was okay, but they said no, they're a little leery about it, so I decided to step out and come back later on and get the fight when I know that I was 100% healthy. Because if I'm
Right.
100% healthy, I know I could do even more than what my body could give me. I'd be going overboard to do it,
Yes, sir.
you know.
Yeah,
But
but
that
tell him
was
about that fight, because he seems so much bigger than you in the ring, but you just had a way with him, man. It's like you handled him like he was, you know, you just handled him in
Terry.
there.
Terry, I tell you the truth, Terry was one of the best fighters that I ever fight. Strong, powerful, could punch like hell, could box like hell, and I just decided he's going to be either you or me. At that time, that was my first fight against him. Cause remember, I fought him twice. You know, and
Mm-hmm.
and nothing was going to stop me. At the time, I ready to die in the ring, knowing that I go in there and give up 100%. Then I'm not giving up 100%.
You
And
knocked
when
him out.
any
Knocked him out
fight
the
that
first fight.
yeah, was it football the fourth round?
Yes, sir. I think it was the
Right,
fourth round. Right? You caught him with a temple shot, a shot to
right.
the temple.
So right, and I rocked him a few times lead up to that point, But he's a hell of a fighter. I mean, he was a hell of a fighter, all along. And he came back with a very good plan the second time, and boxed a lot, and I couldn't catch up with him, But me and him have 2 wars together, and he's a
Yeah.
great fighter.
Hey Simon, we got another brother in the building. This man is from Outlaw Boxing Club out there in Australia. What's going on, Jed?
Hey, big up, Major Key. Salute, Troy. How are you, Simon? Pleasure to be on the panel with you, brother.
Okay. Hello, how you doing?
Yeah, I don't know if you spoke about it. One of your best performances against Jorge Vaca.
Oh, man.
Yeah, bro, that's one of the biggest destructions of a fighter. And Jorge Vaca was a tough, good fighter, and you absolutely destroyed him. I think there was like 7 or 8 knockdowns in that fight. You made a good, tough fighter, and you completely dismantled him. That was a fantastic performance, Simon.
Yeah, he was a great fighter too, man, and very good fighter, man. And I know since he have all them knockout, I have to take it to him right away. I couldn't mess around and, laying back and waiting. I have to take it to him right off back and get to him right away. But with me with them body shot and too much guys, I take that, because I'm coming straight to the body. That's all I know. Come straight to the body. I'm body to heads,
Yeah, Sean Sutherland as well. You did a job on him as well, because he was a big prospect, wasn't he? The Canadian Sean O'Sutherland, I think his name was. I remember you did.
Sean O'Sullivan. Yeah, they thought I was gonna come there up there and lay down on it, But
They picked the wrong guy.
Ain't no fight. I believe me that I wanted to lay down. When I go into the fight, yes, if I lose, I lose, and I'd rather lose going down fighting than lose don't go and try at all.
Yeah, absolutely, brother. My sorry, just quickly. My father was friends with. He knew through boxing Troy Waters. I think you fought him as well, didn't you, Simon? Was that at junior middleweight?
No, that was a junior middleweight. Yeah, it sure was.
Yeah. He passed away a year or 2 ago. Troy Waters from cancer.
Troy Waters, man. I'm so sorry when I heard that, man. Tears come to my eye because he was a young guy and. And he was doing so good at the time when I fought him. But, I'll tell you, tears come to my eye, man, to know that he had passed away.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Go ahead, Troy. I know you were trying to jump in. Go ahead, Troy.
Right, when you fought Vodka, right, Simon?
Uh-huh.
That was your first fight after you won the title from Trice.
Right.
And you fought in Jamaica, so... Yeah, so tell that story. Was that your choice or was that your handler's choice? Whose choice was it to fight in Jamaica for that first fight?
That was my choice because they asked me where I want to fight next, and I tell them I like to go home and be the first one to basically to put a world championship fights back in Jamaica, televised back here in the state. And they say, okay, let them work on it, and they end up did it, and it came through.
Yeah, because you landed some vicious body shots in there, because I remember that. I could clearly see it now when he was against the ropes. You're breaking him down something beautiful, man.
Yeah, well, that's all I believe in, man. Is that body. I got to chop the body down, man. I got to cut that tree down, and eventually, everything gonna fall in the position where I want you.
Yes, sir. You definitely, and and Jed actually brought up Troy Waters, man. Waters. Yeah, that was a tough guy, wasn't he? He was a tough guy to fight. He never seemed to stop.
Very tough guy, man. Very tough guy.
Yeah,
was because he's
I just so sorry to hear. When I did hear it, man, that he had passed away. Man, God bless his soul. Because he was a very good fighter, also.
He was very tough. Well, he had an abusive father. His father treated him real bad, so I think that was what he was. His father used to train him like a dog fight, like a pit bull fighting. He would make him sleep in a dog kennel and train him.
Man.
Yeah, so he just had him raised him real bad. Like a real abuse. Because him and all his brothers were all fighters. Had like 3 or 4 other brothers that were all boxers.
Oh, so they all was boxers, huh?
Yeah. None of them were as good as he was. The best of them, though. Troy.
Oh,
That's-
okay, because he definitely was, man. He was definitely a very good fighter, man.
Yeah, tough, like Troy said as well.
That he is. He was very tough, man.
Hey Simon, what do you think about all these undisputed fights that that are happening this year? You know, we got Taylor Ramirez coming up at the 140 pound division. We have a potential with Joshua. I thought that was. I already see it in BoxRec. I already see it at ESPN. But I took a nap, and when I woke up, I got all these messages saying that that something happened with the arbitration. Who the hell knows what happened with that?
Right.
So I don't even know. I'm not even going to talk on that one. I'm gonna let other people educate me on that one because I took a nap after work and then came straight to do this live. But
Well,
yeah, go ahead.
well, that's what made boxing. When you have all these fighters that's get ready to come up and good fights, make boxing keep staying live, and keep it
And
out
when
there, So that's good. I love to see that, when a lot of
right,
guys in good competition, happening, is
mhm.
great for boxing.
And when you were coming up, there was not so much confusion. Like, what about this Teofimo Lopez? Right? They dubbed it as undisputed when he fought Lomachenko. He got all the belts, and now they're saying that it might potentially not be. Well, you get some people saying that, some people saying that it is. Mauricio Suleiman saying that he's got the supreme belt, but then on the WBC website, it shows Devin Haney. What do you feel about all that confusion?
Oh man, I hope that basically they will straighten it out and basically get it straight and they all do the right thing because you don't want to basically to give boxing a bad name. You want it is to always stay good and straight and hopefully they straighten it out soon.
Right. Because it's a lot more belts than when you were boxing, right?
Oh yeah, back when I was fighting, man, it was only 3 belts. Now they got what, about 5 of them.
Yeah, they got all types of belts, and then different types of belts for each division from
Yeah,
the same
different.
sanctioning body.
Exactly, and they should go back in the older days, man, when they only have 2 or 3 belts, that not 5 and 6.
Hmm.
That's what they should go back to be.
Yeah. Well, yeah, man. So at this point, guys, any questions? Because I'm gonna drop the link. In respect of Simon's time, I'm gonna drop the link in the chat to see if anybody else wants to pop up over here. So
Yeah,
any
well,
follow-up?
Yeah, I might just ask Simon, because at the same time, or you were around the same time as Mike McCallum, another legendary Jamaican fighter. Did you study Mike much, and did he influence a lot of how you boxed and things like that?
Mike McCollum.
Yeah, Mike McCallum. Yeah.
Oh, Matt McCollum was out, because tell you the truth, my first fight, but a lot of people don't know my first fight. It was on at the Tropicana on Mike McCollum card. I was fighting. I fought my first 4-round fight. It was on Mike McCollum card. Mike McCollum at the time had around maybe 18, 19 fights, 19 or 18 I know, and I fight on my first fight on his card in Atlantic City at Tropicana.
Wow. Yeah, because my brother at the moment, he's 18 years old, a boxer. I tell him to study Mike McCallum, because he was such a great fighter.
Oh, he was a great fighter, man. And even him, I had learned some of my body shot from him because he was a body snatcher, man. He come to take that body down.
Yeah, that's right. That's why I tell
That's
my
it.
brother to watch him. You can always learn from Mike McCallum fights.
Yeah, and see nowadays they all want to go just to the head. They forget all about the body.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to ask you, Simon, about the current fighters nowadays at 147. The Spence, Crawford, then Porters, and all them. Who would you? Let's just say you were fighting now. How would you go about handling, let's say, fighting, Errol Spence or something? He's a southpaw. He's a southpaw, about 5'8", 5'7", something like that.
You just spoke. That's one of my favorite fighters that's out there today, man. He's Errol Spence, man. I just like the way he fight because he come to go to work. He comes straight to you, man, and ain't no run around and ducking and dodging. He slip punch and take it to you like a fighter does and come to fight, man. And he also could punch. So he's one of my favorite fighters out there today. Really, tell you the truth.
Yeah, also the fact that his father Jamaican, doesn't hurt either. Huh? His father's Jamaican, right?
Say that again.
Yeah, you broke up a
Yeah,
little bit.
yeah,
Jordan.
yeah. His father's Jamaican, right?
I
I mean
did not.
Jamaican.
I did not. Yeah, I did not know that, man.
Yeah, because he fly the flag every fight. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he fly the flag every fight, man.
Ooh,
Yeah, Errol
you talking
Spence.
Earl Spinks?
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh man. Cause most of the time I catch him, I may catch him when he fight just start or or I just turn the TV on and they just ready to go on and start the first round. So I never noticed that.
yeah, definitely, man. His family's definitely Jamaican.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
Hey
yeah,
man,
but
we got another brother. My bad. We got another brother in the building. A brother from across the pond over there in the UK. Rap star Boxing Knowledge, aka UK47. What's going on, brother?
Hey, how's it going, man? I've just got
Big
up
up, bro.
from a nap.
My bro.
How you doing, Troy Graham?
well, I'm doing good, brother. I'm doing.
Hey, I think we got Simon Brown, my Jamaican brother from the other side.
Yeah, we got. Yes, sir. We
Wagwan,
got,
my brethren. Wagwan, my brethren.
How you doing, man?
Everything crispy and everything irie.
There you go. Everything Harry, man.
How you doing, Simon?
Oh, I'm doing great, man. I'm doing wonderful, man. But a lot of people don't know, man, that I came from the deep part of Jamaica, man.
Yeah, I know you come
You know?
from Jamaica, bro. You are original Jamaican brethren. I mean, if you really look at it, Glenn Johnson was from Jamaica, but you were the main guy from there before him, right?
Yeah, I sure was.
Yeah,
I
I
came
remember
from
it was you,
Corinthian,
Glenn
man.
Johnson. We have another brother, Nicholas Waters. I remember him he was after you guys. Nicholas Waters was a good Jamaican fighter. Give me some other Jamaican fighters. Do you remember any others?
You got, Mike McCollum. You got Terry Burbick.
Oh, Mike
You, g-
McCallum.
yeah,
Yeah, he was the man,
because
bro.
Mike McCollum he's a hell of a fighter. And was a hell of a fighter. You
Yeah,
got
was
Yeah,
Trevor
he
Burbick.
was
You
a
got
hell of a fighter. The
Trevor
body
Burbick.
snatcher.
Yeah, you got Trevor Burbick. So you got a lot of guys, man. That a lot of them come from Jamaica that could get down, man.
Do you ever go to your country and like do any kind of reunion or anything out in Jamaica? Have they ever done anything for you in Jamaica or not really?
Well, reunion. Well, I went down to Jamaica and they had a very big parade for me that one time. Yeah,
Oh man, that's
and
fucking
from
amazing.
Kingston all the way to Corinthian. So, I've been back down in the last 10 years. I'm planning on going back this summer. Me and my daughters them. And spend
Okay.
about a week. So that's my next plan to do this summer.
Yeah, you must be connected when you go Jamaica though, innit? You can't go to the wrong places, man. You go missing.
Oh man. But
Yeah.
I still love it there, man. I still love it there, man. That's where I was born. That's where my neighbor root is at, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, Simon, me coming from England, I didn't watch many fights from there. I'm a little bit after your time. I study a lot of boxing, but did you fight any British fighters, Simon?
Well, no, but
You
they had
didn't
one
fight any
guy
British fighters, did you?
they had one guy that had leave. Jamaica was living in England, and that was what's his name was he was a welterweight champion.
Who?
He was a welterweight champion up there.
And he was a Jamaican, but he was living in England.
Yeah.
Not
Lloyd Hunnigan.
Lloyd Hunnigan.
Oh, you're talking about Lloyd. Wait. You're talking about the Ragamuffin man?
Yeah,
Lloyd
Lloyd
Hunnigan?
Hunnigan, man.
The man from Hackney. Yeah.
I thought Manny was gonna meet up, but we never did.
Yeah, he beat one of the guys that nobody gave him a chance. He beat the guy, pound for pound guy, Donald Curry. Remember?
Exactly, Donald Curry. That's who he had beat for the title, man.
Yeah, and I remember, that when he beat Donald Curry, he became a star in England. When Lloyd Hunnigan beat Donald Curry, bro, he became a mega star in England.
Yeah,
you know
and
what I mean?
I thought I would have ended up fighting, but it never happened.
Yeah, you know why? Because our brother from the other side, Mark Breland, he ended up beating Lloyd Hunnigan, didn't he?
Marlon Starlin. I think Marlon Starlin took the belt off.
Marlon Starlin did.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Marlon Starlin took the belt, but didn't Mark Breland also fight Lloyd Hunnigan?
After.
Yeah, after that, I think he put a bad beating, I was going to say, on Lloyd Hunnigan.
Right.
you know, Mark Breland, if I'm mistaken, he stopped him, didn't he?
Yep. So yeah, he messed up. I stopped him.
It was a heck of a fight, man.
Yeah, man. I didn't even know my brother Jed Carl's in the building. I didn't even know.
What's up,
Oh,
Rio?
yeah.
Use my gym's account,
yeah,
Rapstar.
Simon.
So, my brother.
Yeah. Hey, Simon, you didn't duck
Yes,
anyone, bro. You fought all of them. If I remember rightly, you even fought Bernard Hopkins. You fought
Yeah,
all those
I
guys,
moved
didn't
up the
you?
weight, man. And at the time, if I beat Bernard, I was gonna go to light heavy, man.
Yeah, that's a real fighter.
So
Even,
can I say this? I'm going to go on mute. I know you guys have got a lot
Okay.
of things to talk about. I don't want to, you know what I mean? I just want to ask you another question. Who was the best fighter that you ever faced and you fought? Was it Hopkins? Who was it? Was it Aaron Davis? Did you fight Aaron Davis?
Right, I fought Aaron Davis. I
Yeah.
fought them all, man. Ain't nobody in fight, man.
Yeah,
But I
you
like all
fought
them
everybody,
guys, you
but
know.
I want to know which one of those fighters that you thought to yourself, he's fucking the special guy. Which one of those guys that you think was the hardest fighter?
Well, I tell you the truth. To me, is when I moved to the gym a little bit and fought Terry.
Terry Norris.
Right, he's a heck of a fighter, man. Cause this guy could punch, man, and
Yeah.
he's the type of guy, man. He
You
come to
beat him
get
though,
you.
didn't you? You beat him, didn't you?
Yeah, I beat him the first time. The second time, he beat me a decision. But I
Okay.
feel that Terry was a heck of a fighter. Bernard Hopkins was a heck of a fighter. But, you know, I was moving up the weight. I was climbing weight class. So, you know, them guy was stronger than I was, man.
Yeah. Hey, respect
Yeah.
to you, Simon Brown. You fought everybody. You and in your time, there wasn't all this kind of a mediocre. There wasn't all this back and forth too much. You had to fight. How many fights did you fight a year? What was the maximum
man,
fights that you fought a year?
A year, when I first started out, man, the first year I fought 12 times. The second year I fought, you can look at my record, the second year I fought 11 times. And then that's when I start slow down.
Mm-hmm. Also, Simon, right? Also, you know, someone in the chat room was asking if you have any up and coming fighters.
Yeah,
I know
got
you
a
have your
real
own
good.
gym, so good. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got a real good fighter that he's fighting on the 5th of June in Philadelphia. He's a main event, Dance Paloli. He's a guy, but I didn't start him out. He came with me when he get ready to turn pro. I had him for his last 3 amateur fights, and he been doing pretty good with me so far. He only lost. He's 8-1, something like that. Yeah, 8-1.
Oh, you got to bring them
Okay.
on, man.
Hey, I have to ask this question.
We got Shadow Ghost in the building, Simon. That's another brother of ours.
Hey,
Okay.
Simon, I don't know if you remember this, bro, but I met you at a job and they had to move me to night shift, bro, because once I knew you, I said I wanted to. It was at Builders. I don't know if you
was
remember.
that Builders?
It was at Builders, and I came up to you and I said, I remember I was riding in the car. They were like, "Yo, because they knew I liked boxing. They were like, "Yo, so we have a guy that used to box," and I'm like, "Who?" They were like, "Simon Brown." I was like, "Simon Brown, the one that knocked out Terry Norris." I don't know if you remember me. I went up to you and I was like, "Yo, you the one that knocked out," and I talked to you about Azuma Nelson, and I like every day I used to come in for the night shift, and I was about to work the day shift, but I would come in and I would talk to you. And
Right.
and then once they knew, bro, that I was always out, bro. They ain't put me on the day shift, bro. They put me right on the fucking night shift, man. Cause every time I came in, I was like, "Yo, where's Simon at? Yo, where's Simon at?" Cause and I remembered a couple of times that I talked to you, I was asking you about the Terry Norris fight, and then I remembered a couple of times we were talking about how you told me. I'm not sure if you said because I asked who were the fighters that you knew or something like that. And we were talking about Azuma Nelson one time. I'm not sure if
Right.
how he came up, but I don't know. It was like a couple of years back, but I don't know if you remember. Do you remember now?
Well, you know, it might. Yeah, like you're right. It might be some. But I remember I meet a few guys down there like that when I come through there. You know.
Yeah, man, that shit was crazy, bro. They immediately transferred me, bro.
Oh man.
It was hilarious, bro.
Yeah, you know, and Simon, man, tell him about your fight with Buddy McGirt, because I believe if you would have won that fight, you would have got your shot at Pernell Whitaker, right?
Was that a
Yes,
super?
yes,
Was that a
yes.
super welter?
Yeah, well, it was gonna be because Pernell Whitaker was the next he was the next #1 contender. So, but since I didn't beat Buddy McGirt, then Buddy McGirt fight Pernell, and Pernell beat him. But Pernell, man, left-handed, fast, swift. He's the type of guy, man, don't give you nothing to hit. You really got to be on your job with him, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I watched the fight with Buddy, man. What actually gave you problems that night? Because I know how you fight. You usually come on about the 5th round and you start going, right?
Right.
Yeah, but he looked like he had your timing in that fight. Was it the timing that threw you off with him, or what threw you off with him?
Well, I always said that, I have no excuse. I always said he was just a better man that night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of fighters today could learn from that.
Yeah, he was just a better man that night. And, I was hoping to fight him again, but it never happened.
Hey, before I go, Simon, it's been a pleasure to speak to you. I got to come back. I just got something to do. But, pleasure to speak to you all the way from England, man. I'm a big fan of yours.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, but, I want to ask you, in the current affairs where we are in boxing, and, I'm sure you keep an eye on the welterweight division, right?
Definitely.
And, we got 2 welterweights in America right now. And,
Right.
we got Errol Spence Jr. and we got Terence Crawford.
Right.
What fighter out of those 2 do you think has the, which fighter do you think has each other's number? You think Errol can beat Terence, or you've got Terence beating Errol? I'd like to know from your point of view.
Like you said, I tell you the truth, they're both is 2 very, very good fighter, man. One is a more boxer, and one is a more guy to come taking it to you to give you, Earl Spence to come take it to you, to stay on top of you, go to work. Crawford is a more boxer. So it's going to be real interesting to see what happened when them 2, get together.
And the last question, do you think these 2 guys would have been able to deal with the guys that you fought in your era?
Yes, I think they would, because they're very good fighters. And both of them, is very good fighters. So I said, yes, they'll be able to handle themselves, until the last bell ring to see who wins.
Hey. Major Key, thanks for having me, man.
Hey, tell everybody where to find you. And are you going live at 11?
No, I'm not going live today. I'm going to be going live tomorrow, Major. But look, you can find me at Rapstar Boxing Knowledge. Simon Brown in the building. Everyone smash that like button. We got a great panel. I'll be back. See you guys later, bro.
All right, brother.
Tell you what, Simon. Simon.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, man. The fight I always dreamed about, which I knew would probably never happen, was you versus Felix Trinidad, man. How would you have gone about fighting him? Because I know he got the height on you and all that, but how would you have fought, Felix Trinidad?
Well, he got the height and everything, but I never worry about that. He's also another very good fighter. I would, put the pressure on him just like he put the pressure on me, because I know the fight. Whatever you come to me with, I know to adjust right away. You come to me, box me, I know to adjust. You come to me, fight me, I know to adjust and box. So I know to fight both ways. It was just not only one way that I fight. Cause Pepe, I trained me to fight both, all kind of ways, man. So whatever you come to me with, I'm ready to adapt and go to work.
Yeah. Also, Simon, was there ever talks of Chavez and you fighting? I know Chavez was at 140 below, but he was a champion.
Right.
Under. Was there any talks of him moving up, challenging you after you beat Blocker in the unification? Was there any ever talks of you and Chavez fighting? Yeah.
Yes, it did. It was many talks, but for some reason it never came off. But I would have loved to, But at the time it never came off. But he was definitely was talks about it.
Yeah. Would have. Yeah. Probably would, yeah. Maybe they probably thought it was too dangerous to fight, to move up, because you were such a dangerous fighter at 147. So yeah.
Yes, sir. And there was a guy at the time, Simon, by the name of Mark Breland. Why didn't that fight ever come about? Huh?
That's another one that there was a few talks about getting that done, but it never came off. Because with me, I didn't care who you was. Just give me the date and enough time to get prepared, and the fight is done. I'm ready to go to war. That's all it was.
Uh, and I know from talking to you, one of your favorite fighters you always said was Tommy Hearns, right?
Yeah, Tom Hearns was also one of my favorite fighters, man. But
Yeah.
I can't let my man Sugar Ray Leonard go. Because I used to love him to death, man. Because like I said, he's the one got me started, and I watched him for years. Him, Tommy Hearns, Marvin Egler. I watch him, man, and even Sugar Ray Robinson. I used to sit down and watch them and study them guys, man, and go in the gym and work on things that they do. And a lot of them things worked for me, man.
Right. Now years and years now, there's been this rumor that it was a guy was a guy that was sparring with Sugar Ray for the Hagler fight, and he, he was basically handling Sugar Ray at the time, right?
Right.
And everybody was saying that was you. Was that you that sparred with Ray at the time when he was training for Hagler and was handling him, or was that another fighter?
No, it wasn't Egler. It was I think it was Kevin Howard. I think you remember Kevin Howard
Yeah, 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 definitely.
when Yankees was making his comeback. That's who I was sparring with him at the time. For that to get him prepared for that. And yes, anybody going to ring with me, I don't care who it is. If you ain't Jesus Christ, I'm gonna handle myself.
That's the
I know.
mentality champions got to have. Also, Simon, why don't you fight with Marlon Starling? That was an incredible fight as well. I think that goes underrated. Like the skill both you fighters showed in that fight. That was like a great boxer chess match in the welterweight division of the '80s. I love that fight as well, brother.
Oh man, thanks, man.
Hey man, we
Marlon
got another
Starling,
brother in the building. My bad. We got another brother in the building. H Money up in the building. What's going on, H?
Yo, what's good, Major Key Boxing? Thanks for having me. Shout out to Simon Brown, former
oh
world
man,
champion, I believe two-time world champion. Is that correct?
right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. Shout outs to everybody on the panel. Troy Graham, Jed Kyle, Shadow Ghost.
Salute,
I
mate.
want to ask you about your fight with Terry Norris. Now, you knocked out Terry Norris, and I believe that's how you became a two-time world champion.
Right.
Could you describe that fight with Terry? I believe you was the underdog in that fight, and what was
Yes.
your mindset and your game
Well,
plan?
my chance of beating Terry at the time that was very slim to a lot of people, but I know deep in my heart and in my soul, and I know I got a very good chance. Cause if you breathe just like I do, you got a chance of beating you.
Absolutely. And Chad Kyle mentioned your fight with Marlon Starling, which resulted in a split decision. Very close fight. Also, you've been in there with legends like, Buddy McGirt, Bernard Hopkins.
Right.
See, you knocked out Maurice Blocker,
Right.
and Maurice Blocker was a very good fighter as well. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
you fought the best.
I was the first one to stop him to his whole career, man.
I used the first one to stop Maurice Blocker
Yeah, it was
before
the first
Felix
one to stop
Trinidad. Before Trinidad got to him, huh?
Right. Before all of them I got to him. Yeah.
Hmm. And could you tell us a little bit about your fight with Bernard Hopkins? I know you moved up to middleweight for
The
that one.
middleweight.
Yeah, to middleweight. That was I believe, your first fight at middleweight. Is that correct?
Right. That was my first fight at middleweight. Yeah.
Would you say Hopkins was probably the best fighter that you been in the ring with?
Yeah. Very good. A heck of a fighter, man. Very crafty. Don't give you none of heat. Very, got long arms, long reach, and he's a heck of a fighter, man. Um, you know, he just at the time, he was nothing at the times. I tried, but he outsmarted me on a lot of things there.
Hey,
Hey,
quick.
oh, I was gonna say something.
Go
Hey,
ahead, go ahead. I'll jump in right
yeah.
after you, Shadow.
Hey,
Go ahead.
I just want to say, Simon, man, you are a very humble person, bro. Um, when I could tell a lot of people when when I met you, they didn't know boxing. Cause
Right.
when I would go to work, I would be like, bro, I can't believe that's Simon Brown. And they were like, yeah, but he just boxed. I'm like, no, bro, you don't know. Like, cause I'm a huge boxing fan, and
Right. Right.
I showed them the Terry Norris fight, like, and then I remember I forgot the one that used to do the carpool that take us to Builders. But I remember when he saw the knockout, he's like, "Oh damn!" I'm like, "Bro, I'm telling you, bro, this dude was a dangerous man, bro." You know, but I could tell that these dudes were casuals. You know what I mean? But every time like I would talk to you, you're just a humble guy, bro. You don't let like I could tell you never let that shit bother you. Like if somebody came up to you and was like, "Yo," you know, if they were a huge boxing fan, like that shit, it doesn't bother you. Like even
No,
if you talk about your losses, you always say, "Hey, he was a better man that night." You know,
yeah, well,
you always been like you always been like that.
that God give you a gift, and I do it till I couldn't do it anymore, and thank God that I was able to get through boxing and go through boxing and did what I did, So and now that I'm giving it back to a lot of younger guys now, I just thank God, man. I gotta always put God first, cause without Him, I
Hey,
wouldn't be
Simon,
me.
we're
Hey,
gonna need exclusive interviews with all of those guys you're talking about. but
Yeah.
but hey,
And
man, listen,
the
I got a
reason why
question.
it was just it was just one last thing, Major Key. The reason why I
Right.
say that too is because you look at the generation today, and these kids, a lot of them they put on that persona, like they have to be real hard and bad, like you know what I mean. And then you look at somebody like yourself that's humble, that was just as fucking dangerous. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying. It's like you don't have to act like that to be dangerous. You know what I mean? You could be a
Right.
humble person, you could be a kind person, you could be a respectful person. You know what I
right.
mean? Every time I talk to you, bro, you talk to me like I was a normal person. But every time, bro, I wanted to eat lunch with you, bro. Bro, I swear to you, bro. I tell Major Key all the time when he told me that you was coming on. I said, bro, they literally threw me on night shift, bro.
Oh man.
They made sure I never saw you again. They were like, nah, we ain't throwing this motherfucker. We ain't having him work with him because he ain't never gonna get no work done. You know? And it was like after a couple months, but bro, like that's like a lot of young fighters can learn from, I think, the other generations, because a lot of them with the social media, a lot of they had that facade, like they had like you, to me you don't have to act like that, but I know a lot of it is
Right.
promotion,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
So one of the folks from the channel is asking, what you call it? What do you think is going to be the outcome? What are the keys to victory, and who do you have winning for the Josh Taylor Ramirez fight that's coming up?
Well, I tell you the truth, man. I think both of them is two very good fighters, and it's hard to pick. I really could tell you after maybe the first round and the second round go by, then I could say, you see, But I really can't really say it because both of them is two very good fighters, and in a fight like that, anything may happen.
All right. My bad. Now go ahead. H Money or Troy, one of y'all.
Yeah, well, I got one more question.
Yeah.
So Simon Brown, what did you think about Deontay Wilder? You know, some of those excuses he made after losing to Tyson Fury. You heard Wilder say Mark Breland spiked his water. Then he blamed his costume, said it was too heavy. Then he said he never said that. Also, he said Tyson Fury had loaded gloves. He had an egg weight in his gloves. I think it's a whole bunch of bullshit. What do you think?
Come on, man. He should know better than that. He's a fighter, man. Sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose some. Um, you should just take it as a man and walk away and come back and get ready to prepare again for war next time. That's all.
Do,
Yeah.
do,
Real
do you think he can bounce back after making those type of excuses? I mean, I feel like he should just look at the man in the mirror and accept defeat and try to
That's what
improve.
I'm trying to tell you. That just look at himself and said, okay, he was a better man today. Next time, I'm gonna make sure that I'm gonna be the better man. But don't find excuse. Just let it go and get prepared for the next one.
Do you think he can come back, or do you think he's done?
Yes, I think he can because he got the heart and the willpower to do that. But he got to really want to do that, because it's not going to be easy,
What,
But
what
I think he definitely can.
what do you think happens in the third fight with Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder? Who do you pick?
Well, I think that is basically Tyson Fury came in and was more prepared, and basically I think that he may have taken it too lightly now since he had did what he did the first time, and it reminded me back of when I even fought Terry twice, and the second time Terrier beat me by running and moving, but um, you got to treat each fight, man, like it was your first. You know, first time fighting that person, and willing to go to war. You know, with it. Whatever he do to you, you're trying to do overdo him.
All right, thank you.
Hey, no
Okay.
problem. We got Troy Graham.
Mhm.
Anything from Rap Star?
Yo, Simon, I came
Yeah.
back. I wanted to
Mhm.
ask you this question, bro, because a lot of people don't ask these kind of questions to boxers. And in your boxing career, you must have gone through some real serious injuries. I know boxers, when they finish with fights, they go through a lot of injuries
Right.
that they don't tell the people. You know, boxers keep their injuries and all the pain they go through very quietly. Am I right?
Exactly.
Yeah, and I'm
Exactly.
sure you must have gone through a lot of stuff in your life. What
Yeah.
was the worst injuries that you had, bro, that you can share with us now? Because my friend, he used to piss out blood. One of my friends, he got a broken rib. One of my friends, he got something in his brain. He can never box again. So I'm sure you
You
must have.
know,
Go ahead.
basically, because I'm a godless man, and since you asked me that question, I'm gonna tell you, I'm a man that know that that's what I was born to do, and I did it. And what happened to me afterward is, you know, because it's a tough sport. We all
It's a
know that.
very tough sport. One of the
Very tough
toughest sports in
sports.
the world.
And I, right now, well, I could say, basically, one of my eyes blind.
Oh, God bless.
Yeah, my left eye.
And did you see that you don't even tell people that, do you?
Nah, nah.
No.
And you see all these boxers which are going through a lot of things in their life. They got so much. I don't know. You guys are warriors. You don't tell nobody these things.
Nah.
You see, I knew to ask you that question because you wouldn't tell nobody that unless we asked you, right?
Right. Yeah,
And
but
did you get any? Do you get
my
any
left eye.
compensation? Do they help you? Do the sanctioning bodies help you because you got one eye which is blinded? Does the
Yeah.
boxing people ever help you with anything in your life?
Well, I never reach out to them about it, so I don't know if they would or they would not. You know, I never reach out to them about it, but I have a detached retina in 1990, and
Ooh.
basically, I still continue to fight with it. Got it fixed and continue to fight with it. Went and fight almost 5 more years with it, and then around a year ago, he went out on me,
Oh man.
and I retired, and I
Sorry
was
to hear,
good.
bro. God bless.
I
Yeah, God
retired.
bless.
I retired at 20 years then, but it went out on me. But God still blessed me with the other one that is doing good, that is doing great. And
Yeah.
I thank him every day and every night for it, because without him,
So do you
I wouldn't
think,
have did what I
Simon?
did.
Do you think, Simon, that's why these boxers today, when they get a detached retina or broken eye socket, they stop the fights quickly now? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
these
yeah.
boxers nowadays, they don't take risk like you used to take risk.
No,
Like,
no. Back in the day, man, we ain't wear no thumbless glove and all that, man. You know, the thumb apart away. We don't. You know, now the thumb is up on the other side of the glove, so it was a different.
hey, Simon, God bless you, man. I know somebody in boxing. I wanted you to tell the people. I wasn't going to say nothing. You know, God bless you, man. You know, at
Yeah,
the end of the day, you're a warrior. You know,
God
one
bless
of
you.
your
God
eyes.
bless you
So,
too, man.
yeah, man, one of your eyes is gone. You know, it
Yeah.
took a long time though. It must have took years, right? But now, I mean, you are a warrior, bro. So at the end of the day, you've
Thank you,
shared it with
brother.
us. You know, I mean, what you've done for the sport, only people could dream of doing that shit. You know.
Thank you, man. And I'm still you know, because I run my boxing gym now. You know, Simon Brown Boxing Academy. I'm
Yeah.
developing a lot of young guys, a lot of young kids,
Hey,
and
where is that at? Where is that at?
he's in Hagerstown, Maryland.
So, yo, Troy. Oh, that's why, Troy. Okay. Yo,
He's only like
you're
he's
in
only
the
like
same. Yo, literally, that's where I'm living now. That's it. It's crazy as hell. It's a small world, bro.
what
Gotta
It's
go.
a
You
small
Hagerstown?
ass.
gotta go train there,
I'm in.
Shadow. Go.
I'm in Hagerstown right now, Simon. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I'm in Hagerstown.
do you know where the fairgrounds at?
I'm at you know where the where the Dairy Queen is by the Bradford Apartments by the
Right,
Weiss. Right over there. Right over there.
I'm not too far away from it. What, 15, 20 minutes?
Yeah, well, that's. I mean, I don't. I didn't know where your gym was. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
it's
that's
right.
what I'm.
You know where the fairground at, right?
Yeah, I know where the
Yeah,
fairgrounds
it's
at.
right there on the fairground. You come around the back, you see a big sign that says Simon Brown Boxing Academy. That's where I'm at.
Okay, bro. Okay, that's bet. Okay, that's okay. That's
You
crazy,
have to make
bro.
it there, brother. You got to have
Yeah,
to make it
Simon.
Yeah,
fall into the
that's
box.
crazy, bro. I'm gonna write that shit down, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Simon. I want to ask you, man. Now that I just found that out, right?
Right.
Because about the eye and stuff. Because in 1990, that was the year you beat Terry Norris, wasn't it?
Right.
Right, and then you went on to have some other fights and
Yeah,
all
because
that. So you,
I have the detached retina, right? I
Mhm.
think right before Buddy fight, I have the detached retina.
Yeah, that actually starts to make sense to me now. Because as I watched you as the years went on, it seemed that you didn't. I don't know how to put it, but I kind of had a feeling you weren't catching them like you used to back in the day. Because back in the day, you kind of had this way of seeing things before they land on you, right?
Right.
And
But
I noticed that. Mhm.
but I love this sport so much, and
I
I
know.
can't find no excuse for it. Because that's what I do. And if even one eye that I have now, because even I still go to ring down and mess with them guys sparring and stuff like that with one eye, because I
Yeah,
just
you
love
know
the
what?
sports, man.
You know what? I'm gonna share this story with them, Simon. It's a personal story of you training, right?
Right,
So Simon used to live close to where my parents lived in Maryland, right? Germantown, Maryland. And it
right.
was cold. I forgot what month it was, but it was cold outside, right? So Simon was doing his training. Next thing you know, he come knock on the door at the time. And my mom let him in, and he was training so hard and running so hard that his eyes just freeze. Basically, it was basically frozen shut.
Yeah.
And and she asked him, what are you doing out here in the cold training? You go to a gym or something. He's like, nah, I got to do it.
Yeah.
I have to do it my way. I got to do it my way.
That's
Well,
next
well,
level champ mindset.
Yeah.
well, I'm the type of guy, every morning at 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm either sleet, no rain, wherever I'm at. That's my job. I got to get up and go running.
And that's
And
even
a
more
lot of
impressive.
people don't like to run. A lot of fighters don't like to run. And
Yeah,
that's
that is the road work.
one of the spots that I like to do. I like to run because my wind got to be right. If I don't have no wind, I can't do what I want to do with
Mhm.
it.
And that's
So
Yeah. And
I know running gonna get my wind at the right spot.
go ahead, Jeb.
yeah, and I was saying, and that's even more impressive because people from Jamaica, it's like my country, Australia. We're used to the hot weather, so it being in the cold like that, it's even more impressive. Because you didn't grow up with. Because I know it gets really cold in parts of Maryland and stuff like that with the snow and that. It was almost
Yeah,
snowing, so it's even more impressive.
yeah, because I used to watch you in the gym also, man. You used to spar with anybody. It didn't matter what size. Because I remember you sparring with a cruiserweight at the gym in Rockville.
Yep, I
And
sure did.
yeah, you used to handle that cat too. And you
Yeah,
sparred with another cat.
you
You
know,
did, you handled him.
Is
And it
is
was
your
another
gym?
cat.
Is your
one
gym?
thing of
I'm sorry, Trey. I was gonna ask, is your gym a boxing gym or just like a regular gym? Cause
no a boxing gym. I also got weights. If you want to use the weights, you
Yeah.
can.
yeah, cause
But
I just looked it up, bro. You're like less than a mile from me. That shit is
And you
yeah,
got to go.
crazy.
You got to go in that gym, brother.
it's a
Yeah.
boxing
Oh,
gym. I got the ring, the bag, the speed bag. I got everything to do with boxing.
do you have an
Yeah,
Instagram, Simon, or something to
Wow.
follow
Okay.
the gym?
Huh?
Do you have like a social media for the gym to follow or anything like
Yeah,
that?
I got it on I got it on Facebook there. Yeah.
yeah,
You don't have an
yeah,
Instagram, but I'll follow on Facebook as well.
yeah. Also, Simon, that phone number they have up there for the gym is the wrong number on
Yeah.
Facebook. Yeah,
Okay.
that's
Well,
the wrong
I
number.
got to
Yeah.
change it and put the other one on there then.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah,
Simon,
when I just went
Mhm.
on Google though, it pops up though. It pops up Simon Brown's gym, and even when I
Right.
put on like the Google location, it's like less than a mile
Yeah.
from where
Yeah.
Right.
from where I'm at. You know what I mean? So it's like it's
You got
it's
to
right
come
down.
down there. You got to come
Yeah,
down
bro.
there and
That's what
check me out, man.
Yo, I was gonna ask, bro. You don't mind if I stop by, bro? Like, you know what I
No,
mean?
come
Cause,
on, man.
cause you
'Cause
saw what happened in my last job. They don't transfer my ass. We try to talk to you and shit, but I ain't working there no more. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Come on, definitely, man. Come on, check me out, man. I would love to.
All right, man. That's a bet. Thanks, man.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
And Simon, I know you were talking to one of these guys about a trainer and all that. Why don't you tell the importance of having, not just having a good trainer, but having the right trainer? Because I know you were blessed to start out with Pepe, and
right,
Pepe did some great things in the sport. Then you work with Atlas, right?
right. I worked with Teddy Atlas for 3
Mhm.
championship fights. He
Right,
was
right,
also a
right,
great. He was also a great trainer.
right. And why don't you just walk us down as to how these different trainers, taught you something different, and how it helped you and all that along the way.
Well, and also I worked with Ernst Snowell. He was also with Mike for a while.
Yeah, yes,
So
yes, yes, yeah.
but all these trainers that I work with, they all have different way of fighting, and when I deal with them, you basically learn something new, and and they always tell me, don't forget what you've been doing, just add this on to it, you know,
Right.
and each one of the trainers always tell me that, don't forget what you was doing, just add this on to it, you know.
Hmm.
And also Adrian Davis also had trained me for. That's who I was with when I beat Terry. Adrian
Yeah,
Davis.
Adrian's great, man. I actually got to meet him, at Umar Boxing Gym in Baltimore. I actually got to
Right.
meet Adrian. Great guy, man. He trained about 15, 16 world champions. So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. You have a lot of fighters, man.
yeah, and I always remember this, man. I always have this in my head. After the fight was stopped with you and Reese, right?
Right.
Yeah, Pepe had on the tux, and he came in, and you were hurt, man. You were crying, and he just hugged you up and said it's okay, Simon. It's over. It's over. It's over.
Right.
It's over. It's
Because
over.
he's the one that started us all off. Me and Maurice saw since we was 15 years old. He's the one that supported us all through our whole career, all the way up till we win world titles. It just happened. He stepped aside because we have two promoter, Don King and Bush Lewis, decided to make us fight. So he's saying he step aside. He didn't want to work neither one of us corner.
Yeah, that was.
So
Let
we
me tell you
had to
what.
go, neutral. With neutral training.
Yeah, man. And the funniest thing I remember about that fight with you and Reese is that you were doing an interview, right? And
Right.
you two came wearing the same sweatsuit, right? Same color and everything. And then Reese was telling the story how you all came up, used to sleep in the same bed, and
Yes, we
you said
did.
no, and you were like, no, 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 they can't tell him we slept.
you know, that's when we was young and traveling a lot, didn't have the money to basically, so we only had the money to get one room, but because we know what we were trying to get and we know what we wanted to do was to be a good fighters, great fighters. So we had to share together, man.
Understandable. This is the question I ask every boxer that's come on here so far. What could you tell these young guys that are coming up now, to avoid all these pitfalls and all these snakes that are in the business?
Well, they
What would
definitely
you?
got to keep
Mhm.
their eyes open and, keep their eyes open and basically, you know, be smart and make sure they read their contract pretty good and look over
Mhm.
things and have their agents or lawyers and check things out good because one thing about these promoters here, they all slick.
Okay. Okay. And I
You
know
know.
you work with Don King, man. I don't know if you want to share any stories of working with Don King and how was that?
Well, yeah, Don King was a great guy. He treated me right. I could not say nothing bad about DK. He gave me some of the biggest paydays and some of the biggest fights that I ever have. I cannot say anything bad about him. He did treat me and my family great. That's one thing I could say. He never treated
Okay.
me wrong.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I know you were close to Mike Tyson at the time as well.
Right, right. We all
Yeah.
was me, him. It was me, Mike, Julio Chavez, Julian Jackson, and Super Nelson. We all was in the same little group there
Woo.
together.
Wow. You just said a lot right there with all those names, man. You
That's a
just
Yeah.
said a
golden era
whole.
right there.
Bro,
That's a
that's an
golden era of
all-star.
fighter.
That's an all-star cast right there, bro.
It's a golden era. They don't make them like that anymore. You don't see fighters like that.
Hey,
They
Simon,
don't make
do
them like
you
that anymore.
do you think that you're like one of the things I noticed when I would watch you fight, like not only can you box, but I think like one of the things that was like, I guess I wouldn't say underrated because a lot of people knew but I think like they forgot about when they were fighting you was your power because you could box, you know what I mean? But like it's like they forget you have power until they get caught with it, you know what I mean? And I think like if you look at it, like even with the I like most of your fights in the earlier career, the KOs were coming before the sixth round. And then I saw when you fought even in the first fight with Terry Norris, it's almost like he didn't like respect that. And then you saw the second fight, he fought completely different. He's
Well,
like, oh,
completely different. He said, like, you
yeah,
can't stand and change punch with me. He's got
yeah,
that
can't
move.
yeah,
But, you know,
got it.
Terry was definitely, again, a very good fighter. He's a big puncher. He could punch, you
Hmm.
know, but it was a thing that he came back and he said, I'm not going to take the chance of stand up with him. I got to try the old boxing.
Yeah,
And
you didn't want to. Couldn't fight
it
that
was
much.
my thing. I should have put more pressure on him, stay on him more, you know, and I just didn't do what that at the time.
Yeah, but Simon Terry like had everything as a fighter, didn't he? He had power, he could box, he had speed, power in both hands. His foot movement was great. Terry really had everything as a fighter.
Yeah,
Didn't he?
yes. One thing about it, you have everything, man. You know, everything that a boxer needed to be to you know to continue to win or to be a great fighter. You have it all. You know, I can tell you, I can't say. I mean, with him, with Bernard Hopkins, Buddy McGirt, these guys, man, was a warrior. They all come to fights.
Yeah, and even Terry had a great mindset as well, didn't he? Terry had like a champion mindset. He really loved to fight, and he really was. He had a great mentality as well. Yeah, for boxing.
Let me ask you a question, Simon. So I know Troy likes to talk about the subtleties of the boxers from the past, right? The subtleties in the ring. There's a few that I see with that right now, but you know, maybe you know, not everybody's caught my eye. Who do you see that has that, you know, that grit, that subtlety, you know, type of boxing style that you know, just like the fighters from back in the day?
Said it again.
You know, that the subtleties, the grit, you know, the type of fighting style that you know, the warrior type of mentality that the fighters had back in the day. Who do you see with that right now? Because right now, you know, the game is up in the air, you know, with all these people not wanting to fight each other, and everybody's acting like a diva nowadays. But you know, some people.
Well, one thing I could say, I definitely see a lot of that in the Charlie's brothers. You know, the two guy brothers from Texas.
Yeah.
Charlo,
what's their name? The Charles?
Charlo brother, Charlo. Jamel and Jamal.
Charlo.
These guys, man, they got all what it takes, man. And I look at Earl Spanks, I look at Crawford. You know, them guys got what it takes, man.
Got you.
You know, he's some very good fighters now, man. You know, and you know, and they're putting it together very well. You know, and they're matching them up very, very well.
Yes, sir. Now, okay, now Simon, you know, with you being a trainer right now, who are some of the top guys that you would love to work with right now, man?
But well, you know, I'm the type of guy, man. I like to work with a lot of fighters, but I like to build my fighters from the scratch, from the beginning. Yeah. I don't like them basically when they already develop and be grown because they have their own ways of fight. You know, I like to build them from the scratch. You know, known from the start all the way up to the top. That's what I like to do, like my trainer did me and a few other guys.
Yeah, I got to make my way up there, man, to the gym because I'm about an hour, probably an hour and change from you. I think I'm about an hour from you, right?
Oh.
Yeah, I just got to make my way up there now.
Yeah, about an hour for me, man. You definitely got to come and check me out, man.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely. Yeah, but now I'm gonna be, man, because you know, because sometimes I mention to these cats that I box, but I don't think they believe me. But you actually saw me in the gym a couple of times, right?
Yeah, I definitely did, man. And for a minute there,
Yeah.
I thought you had a little something going on there.
I did. What did you used to tell me, man? Because you used to tell me that one thing when I used to walk out the ring. You used to pull me off to the side and tell me what? What did you used to tell me? You remember?
Not really. I mean, it's been so
Okay,
long,
yeah,
man.
you used to tell me that I had fast hands for someone my size, but I have to learn how to control that anger.
Yeah,
Every time somebody hit
yeah,
me and
that's
hurt me,
me. I remember that. Yeah, I remember that now.
yeah,
Yeah.
every time someone hit me and hurt me, I want to kill them. So yeah, he used to tell me, look, man, you're gonna lose a lot of fights that way because you're not gonna
Yeah.
see the punches coming at you, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You gotta have
So
nice and
listen,
sharp eyes, man. And the most important thing, if you're in shape and you step in the ring, you can do a lot of things. If you don't have your wind together, man, I don't care how much you can fight, you can't do nothing after a round or two. So
Oh, that
always go to the ring, have your win, and that's coming from running and run a lot. And that
that
definitely
that
will build your wins up.
that kind of reminded me. Just real quick, Major Key, before I forget, because I try to ask like every boxer that I talk to. For some reason, I don't know why I ask him this, but I just want to know. Like, what is like the usual things that you would eat, like when you would go to weigh-ins? So like when you make weight, like once you make weight and you step on the
Right.
scale, and it's the night before the fight. So you already made weight. What is the usual thing? Like, cause I've heard all types of different things, but like, so let's say you've made the weight, it's all
Right.
good. You don't got to worry about you. So the next day is the fight. What would you eat?
Well, I
I've
tell
heard
you a
somebody.
lot.
I've heard somebody say pasta. I've heard
Yes,
like,
that's what I'm about to tell you. I eat a lot of spaghetti without the sauce and nothing, just the plain spaghetti, cause you need that carb back in your body. So
yeah, okay.
I eat a lot. Definitely eat a lot of that. Sometimes I eat a piece of steak. That's bloody. That's really half done. You know, cause I
Hmm.
need that energy that iron in my body. So these are kind of things that I will eat where I know that's gonna get me kicking.
Stop
Okay.
lying, Simon. You were eating bun and cheese. Tell me the truth.
Oh well, right after the fight, yes, I grab all the butter and cheese, man.
Hey man, look, man. We at the 10:48 mark. We're gonna stop at 11. So I want everybody to give final thoughts. Jed Kyle, I also want you to let everybody know so at least they follow you, even if they're not in Australia. Because I'll be honest with you, man. I got a guy named Norris Anderson. He runs a little basketball thing called 8 Game Basketball, and just because of his little promotion, when people travel from overseas over here to take their kids to Disney World, they actually pay him money to train their kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Right.
that's a
So you never be surprised about what the internet can do. So
Yep.
always plug your gym, because you never know who's going to be in Australia. You know what I mean? You never know who follows you and makes it a point to go out there. You know what I mean? So tell everybody where to find you. And then
Yeah.
if you have any follow-up questions, go ahead and do that now.
All right, yeah. Well, first, just our gym. It's called Outlaw Boxing Club. It's in Maroubra, a suburb in Sydney, Australia. But you can follow it on Instagram. It's Outlaw Boxing Club, and this is the logo here. What I've got here on the stream in the picture. That's what the logo of the gym is, and you'll find that on the Instagram. And we've been open for about a year, and so anytime anyone's in Sydney or anything, just come through. Be more than happy to have anyone. A pleasure to have anyone off on this platform there. And Simon, and even Troy, because I know Troy's in. If we're ever in the US with fighters, I'll definitely try and link up maybe some sparring or bring some fighters together to do some work.
That will be great anytime. I would love
Yep.
that.
Absolutely, brother. Yeah, we had Jeff Fennick in our gym, Simon. I'm sure you remember him as well from the late '80s, early '90s. Jeff Fennick, you remember him, the Australian
Right.
reporter?
Yeah, I remember him. Yeah.
Yeah, he was at our gym about a month or two. He has a young fighter and stuff. So yeah, if I'm definitely ever on the East Coast, we'll have to hook up some sparring or even bring fighters to learn from yourself.
Okay,
do
great.
some work. Yeah, be a privilege.
That's what's up, man. We always appreciate
Thanks,
your
mate.
knowledge, Jed Kyle. Of course, brother. You're always welcome on the panel, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that as well, Major Key, giving me that opportunity, brother, and even not coming on here to talk to Simon, a great fighter, one of my favourite fighters. Simon,
Thanks.
till this day, I watch your fights on YouTube, quite often,
Oh.
like regularly.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, it's a pleasure, man. Pleasure to talk to you, brother.
And
That's
thank you,
what's up.
brother. And Simon, man, I want to tell you that we appreciate your time, man. You know, we appreciate the fact that you came
No,
on here
no
and shared with
problem.
us.
No
And if
problem. Anytime, buddy.
and if you'd like to share anything, you know, the name of your gym, or you have any fights coming up with some of you or anything like
Right.
that, you know, go ahead, man.
Yeah, basically, my gym, Simon Brown Boxing Academy. It's right on the fairground in Hagerstown, Maryland. Come on down, man, and if you want to learn the real boxing, and I'll be able to show it to you.
Man, show Shadow Go some real boxing.
Bro, I'm gonna be stopping by, bro, cause like I can walk, bro. I could walk. I might as well just start
I tell
jogging there.
you,
Might as well start getting shape and shit.
Oh man.
I mean,
I tell you what, Simon,
Uh-huh.
would you mind if Shadow Ghost come by, you know, and take some footage, you know, do some, let's say,
That
I
would
don't know
be
if you have a
great.
camera or anything. Yeah.
That would be great.
And
Come
then you
on
can share
down. I
with us,
definitely
Shadow
do that,
Ghost.
man.
yeah. Oh man, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
Man.
Shadow could be the DC connect because you know we all around the country, but we connected. You know,
Right.
and that's one of the brothers that constantly come over here. Like Jed, man. If Jed was not in Australia, man, I'd buy him a pint. You know, like he's such a cool dude. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks,
Oh
brother.
man.
Definitely,
Yeah,
bro.
man. No
Yeah.
doubt.
One day we'll wake it up. But anyway, one day, if I'm ever in US or
No
you're ever
doubt.
here, make it happen for sure.
So Shadow, tell everybody where to find you and any final thoughts as well.
Yeah. First off, hey Simon, man, I appreciate it, man. And thank you for the invitation for stopping by or whatever.
Okay.
And look, man, you're a humble guy, man, and you was a
Thanks,
dangerous
man.
guy.
Thanks.
You was a great entertainer. I still think that the knockout of Terry Norris, bro, was one of the classic. Not only was it one of the classic knockouts, but it was you could call it one of the biggest upsets because
Right.
a lot of people were betting against you, and
Oh,
I tell you, the people that betted on you made a lot of money that night, man.
yeah, that
And
there was, man. But
yeah,
when
and
you're a man, when you're a man of God, and God give you that will and determination to get the job done, you will get it done.
yeah, and I just want to say, man, is always even before today, you've just always been a humble guy. I just want to point that out.
Thanks,
And
man. Thanks.
you guys can all catch me, bro. It's Shadow Ghost 81 up on YouTube. Major Key, you know I always appreciate you. Troy, hey man, thanks. Hey Troy, make sure that you give me a call. Remember what we were talking about? I don't know what happened, how that worked
Yes,
out,
sir.
but
Yes, sir.
call me,
Mhm.
all right?
All right. So we got Jed, we got Shadow, Troy, and then I got Boxing Source that wants to ask a question and just give you, I guess, accolades real quick.
Okay.
Again, we got 6 minutes. We got 6 minutes. Welcome to the building, Boxing Source. We are
Yes,
shutting
sir.
down in 6 minutes. So go ahead and get your question off and say whatever you want to say as far as where to find you and all of that. Just get it out all in one breath, bro.
All right, shout out to Major Key Boxing. Shout out to everybody that's on the panel there. Big ups to Simon Brown, man. What's good with you, brother, man? You know, here, Boxing Source YouTube got the, podcast and everything like that, man. So just big blessings to Major Key Boxing doing this
Thank
thing
you,
here,
thank
every week, man. So, just checking in here and, seeing what's going on, man. And, my thing is, man, like, my question would have been like, what would you think was your toughest or your biggest case of adversity over the course of your career?
Well, like you said, like you mean what was my biggest win, my toughest fight?
Right, like toughest fight.
Right. Well, I have many fights after this one, but I always have said it because it was 14th round. I was knocked down in the second round. I had to come back and got myself together, and went knock on Tyrone Trice out in the 14th. And what makes it so bad too, he had told me that he was going to knock me out in the second round, and he knocked me down. But I had to come back and tough it up and battle all the way through and stop in the 14th round.
Yeah, that was a definite battle there, man. And that one, man, like going through 15, that's the thing that we miss here in these modern days is those type of rounds. And I think that was what your first 15 rounder that you
Right.
had.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I mean, that was a definite grinded out type of fight there, man. And yeah, it was definitely close up to that particular point too, man.
Yeah, it was definitely was. But I know I keep grinding, man, because my trainer always
Mhm.
tell me, no matter what it is, just keep grinding. Something gonna happen. Something got to give. And one thing about fighting, you keep digging to the body and cut that body down, sooner or later, something got to give, man.
Yeah, no doubt. Thanks there, brother Simon. Thanks, Major Key.
No problem, brother.
Sure.
Anytime, bro. So,
All right.
so we got Jet Kyle, we got Boxing Source, we got Shadow Ghost. Shadow Ghost, are you going live anytime soon, or what's going on with you?
Well, actually, bro, I was gonna talk to you about that personally.
Yeah. Just hit me up whenever, then, man. Hit me up whenever.
Yeah.
But Troy Graham, any final thoughts for you, so I could give my final thoughts, and of course Simon Brown.
Yes, sir. Simon, again, I really want to thank you for coming through, man. You saved us today, right? And we definitely appreciate your time.
Anytime, man. No problem.
And also, I never told you this, but from the moment you put that belt on me, I was 17 years old then, right?
Right.
No, but that actually changed my focus on boxing. I started running more, I started studying more, and I went to the gym and fight anywhere I could get some work in so I could learn, right?
Right.
Whether it was at Palmer Park or Rockville or wherever, I went, right?
But that's what everyone should want once they go in boxing, is to reach that goal, to get that belt around your waist. That's what everyone should want. Just don't go into boxing like I tell my young guys them, and you come one day, don't show up for a month, come 2 days, don't show up for two. It's no good. You can't make it that way. You got to come to this gym. It's just like you're going to a job every day.
Yes, sir. And you're the perfect example of a man that went to some of the highest heights in life in your sports, and you lived your dream and stayed on that path, and you never lost yourself. You always stayed humble, and you're always kind. You're always kind, because I remember that. I remember that. So yeah, I want to. So much respect to you, man. I'll keep in touch. I'll definitely get back in touch with you Saturday so you can talk to my parents, right? And then we can go from there.
Man. So you take very good care. All y'all take very good care, man, and may God bless y'all, man, and stay away from them virus, and y'all gonna be fine.
God bless you too, son.
Thank you so much for coming on to the platform. Very humble gentleman, you know what I'm saying? Especially like what Shadow Ghost been saying, you know what I mean? A killer in boxing, but a gentleman here. We're going to shut it down, man. I appreciate everybody coming through. I know there's been a couple of live streams, but the people will catch this on a replay. It is what it is. A shout out to all the people in the chat. And Simon Brown, again, man, thank you for coming to the platform. Everybody could go over to my man Mark Nash. Mark Nash was humble enough. So if anybody got a fix for boxing, go over to Mark Nash's channel. That's MARQ Nash, NASH. Go over to his channel. He's a supporter and a brother to this platform. Just let him know Major Key sent you. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is, man. And he'll be live for the next hour, and then you can find your fix somewhere else. But as far as Major Key boxing goes with Major Key Monday, we out. Thank you for being here.
God bless, Simon. A pleasure. Thanks for having us on, Major Key, my brother. Troy as well.
Like and subscribe to Major Key Boxing, y'all.
Yes, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir.
God bless, Simon.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.